Welcome back to the NightChild, True Funk Soldier. Now, I have a confession to make. I have a secret. I get ranty. Very occasionally, I get ranty. I'm quite a chill guy, but I do occasionally rant. And, I love Prince. He's a huge positive in my life, but sometimes the nonsense out here that people say about Prince just freaks me out, and I just can't cope with it. So, nice deep breath before we begin. I've got 3 pieces of Prince nonsense today. As I'm British, I'm going to have a little sip of tea to chill my nerves before the craziness begins. And now, hopefully, we can begin the Prince nonsense. Now, this first piece has been doing the rounds on Facebook. A lot of people have seen it. It's insane. I mean, the first statement, I don't know what the person was thinking. I have no idea what they were thinking. I mean, anyway.
Prince was never that good of a musician. I just think because everybody was on drugs that it sounded good.
Well, I had to sit on this one for a couple days to make sure I didn't
Let's just stop that for a second.
Prince was never that good of a musician. I just think because everybody was on drugs that it sounded good.
What drugs are you on? That's insane. Everybody was on drugs apparently in the 80s and 90s and whatever, and that's why Prince sounded good. Not because he was a fantastic musician, not because he was incredibly talented, not because he was, the greatest musician in my opinion in the world. No, because everybody was on drugs and their standards of what was good were diminished. First of all, to quote Bill Hicks pretty much, without drugs, there wouldn't have been a lot of the music in the world. The Beatles, the Stones, the list goes on and on and on. But seriously, she's saying that you'd have to basically be on drugs, effectively, to think Prince is good, and that people just were so stoned or so high that they didn't think Prince was good. Anyway, this legend, not her, Sherry, I think the official term nowadays is cooked that lady. She just destroyed. I think sometimes people can say it better than you can ever say it yourself. And, Sherry, I love you. This is what Sherry said to respond.
I had to sit on this one for a couple days to make sure I didn't come in too hot. You did this for clicks, right? You saw that trend where people are summoning an entire generation just by playing a song, and you decided that you wanted to summon an entire generation by dissing one of the greatest musicians of all time. Clever move. Honey, Prince was a one-man symphony. He could play over 20 instruments. That's right, 20. He wrote, produced, and performed all of his own music. And he could perform it live without a safety net. He even made it rain once. Oh, and he rocked some heels better than anybody. He didn't need auto-tune or any AI tricks to make him sound good either. And his music is still holding up decades later, and it's as iconic as it ever was. I mean, maybe brilliance is difficult to grasp when you're swimming in a sea of mumble rap and TikTok tunes. I get it. But a legend like Prince has more talent in his little finger than most people have on their entire playlist.
Damn straight.
Prince did not need a chemical cocktail to sound good. He was the cocktail. He played a guitar like it was a part of his own body. He sang in ways that would send chills down your spine. And he made his body move in ways that would make you want to have his baby.
Yes.
The truth is, Prince could outplay, outsing, and outlast anybody that's playing today. So before you open your mouth and slander one of the greatest musicians that has ever lived, maybe clean your ears out first. Because Prince was the revolution, and you're just mad you missed it.
Damn straight, Sherry. Sherry, you are an icon. We need defenders of Prince, and this is brilliant. People just think it's easy to go on there and talk nonsense and talk about Prince as if, he's nothing, or I don't get Prince. Fine. Do you know what? Fine. If you don't get Prince, that's fine. But to say that people were just on drugs, and that's the only way they could have liked him, and basically people just overestimated it, is just insane. It's just people just, as they say, be out here talking absolute nonsense. The second piece of React to is just a bit of, it just annoyed me. There is a story going around on Facebook that there is a new Camille album. I say new, obviously, obviously Camille isn't new, but that it's being released. And people have been reading this news and saying, wow, Camille's going to be released. It's from this website called AGB News. God knows what it's made of. It's just an absolute click farm, rumour-based nonsense. If you look on Google, we can see they make up stories about album after album from different people, different bands, whether it be the Beatles or the Stones or whoever, just making up stuff and nonsense. This album's coming out, some of these things coming out. Just absolute nonsense. And it just annoys me because it's done for clicks. It just plays to kind of, exploit fans. There's a little quote here on the website, and it's from Michael Howe. Now, Michael Howe hasn't been involved in the estate, as I understand, for a while, but anyway, I don't know if it's an old quote or they're just making it up, I don't know. But they said Camille will be released on April the 7th, 2025 in various formats, including CD, vinyl and digital platforms. A deluxe edition will be available. Bonus tracks, demos, absolute nonsense. These are just, there's something about the internet, just the amount of crap, the amount of nonsense, the amount of just rubbish out there. It's going to get worse with AI, I guess, but geez, this is just nonsense. Ignore this. This is just a click farming thing. If you see it on Facebook, it's not true. Until something's confirmed by the estate, it's not true. Yes, sometimes there are rumours, but this is not a reliable site. Don't click on it. I saved you the thing by clicking on it, and it's just absolute nonsense. Ignore that. Anyway, for a final piece today, and this is possibly my favourite one. This is on the joy of Reddit. If you've ever been on Reddit, that's fun. It's called basically it's like a music Reddit where they talk about questions about music. Deep breath for this one, because oh my god, this is the most insane thing I've ever heard, and I want to be absolutely clear to people. I have no problem with people not liking Prince. That's absolutely fine. You dig what you dig, you like what you like, that's fine. There's certain big artists that I don't like, but I still respect them. I may not dig them, I may not like their music, but I respect what they've done, I respect their art, and I just say it's not for me. That's fine. So let me be clear before anybody gets in the comments. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to like Prince. Obviously not. What I am saying is that to talk nonsense about them is a completely different thing. Like I say, lots of artists I don't like, don't talk nonsense about them. Anyway, this, oh lordy. The person starts off, can somebody please explain to me the appeal of Prince and why he's so revered? I sincerely do not get it at all. And as I said, fine. If you don't get it, fine. But this is where it gets crazy. Please don't attack me. I come in peace. He does not come in peace. I assume it's a guy. I apologise if it isn't, but he doesn't come in peace. I don't mean for this to be a confrontation. But reading the 1999 discussion, this was a few years back, has finally pushed me over the edge to ask this. It's not that I hate Prince, although I do. But that's not the point. There are plenty of musicians I can't stand and would pay to avoid hearing, but usually I understand why people like them. I get it. The very factors that make me describe James Taylor's music as the auditory equivalent of the taste of lukewarm water are probably the same factors that his fans would describe as pleasant or soothing or something. I know we're hearing the same thing. Our brains are just reacting differently. And that's fine. Like I said, dig what you dig. Fine. Okay. You don't like Prince. Fine. But then they go on. And if just one person told me, I love Prince, he's one of my favourite musicians, I would smile and nod and quietly note to myself not to take any album recommendations from them. Just dismiss them. But what confuses me is the fact that on forums like this one, Prince is held up as a genius of some sort. Not only that, but it's taken for granted that this is the case. Prince was a genius. He was a genius. It is the normative default opinion. There's a reason for that. It's true. Hell, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the 1999 ADC post and someone who feels the same way as I do about Prince got buried under downvotes. Admittedly, he or she wasn't being politic about it. I believe them being politically correct. And the top response is, I'm sorry for your loss. Now, lordy. Okay, I'm so confused. Still confused. I know, just listen to some Prince, you'll be fine. Admittedly, I've never listened to an album of his. Sorry. You feel this strongly about Prince's music and you've never bothered to listen to an album. That's like me saying, I don't like Monet's pictures, don't like his paintings. Have I ever seen one? No. What a ridiculous thing. I have never listened to one of his albums. Can I suggest something? Listen to one of his albums. But I grew up in the 80s, so I know the singles. And in the ADC discussion, a lot of the songs I know are mentioned as recommended listens. Cream, Little Red Corvette, Purple Rain, etc. I don't get why. They strike me... Oh man, I'm going to have to drink some more tea. This is just ridiculous. I swear I'm going to need, sedation after this. They strike me as some of the most banal... as Morris would say, this cricket is testing my last nerve. And forgettable... pop music in a decade that virtually specialised in banal and forgettable pop music. You could switch Huey Lewis in the News or Debbie Gibson for Prince in this discussion and I'll be exactly as lost as to why we're holding up this artist as exemplary. I can think of a number of reasons why artists become highly regarded legends, and I cannot apply any of them to Prince. So he's not even saying, oh, you know, he was a good guitarist, but I don't like his singing, or he was a great singer, but I don't like his songwriting. No, just all of it, rubbish. He wasn't groundbreaking. Oh, for the love of God. This is like reverse therapy. He wasn't groundbreaking. The Minneapolis sound? No, just... At least as far as I can tell. Well, you haven't listened to an album, so you can't really tell that much. I can't see what genres the Minneapolis sound, or subgenres, Jesus. Prince was a band leader, The Time, Vanity 6, Funk, just the amount of artists he wrote for. What other musicians' careers are defined almost single-handedly by his influence? You think no one's defined by Prince? You think that no one's influenced by Prince? Have you heard of Beyonce? She's vaguely popular. Heard of her? Janelle Monáe? Yeah. The list, seriously, I swear, is pretty much endless. But you think that no one's influenced by Prince's... Okay. I may not personally be a fan of Black Sabbath, but I totally get how they're foundational to countless artists who's followed. I can't see this with Prince. Have you tried looking at the people who are like really famous at the moment? Beyonce, Janelle Monáe, you know, everybody, so many people. You think of Bruno Mars, you know, very much influenced by the times. Seriously, the list, you can all put it in the comments, but the list of people Prince has influenced is absolutely insane. It's just mad to suggest otherwise. I can't see this with Prince. Or are there interesting and innovative fusions when artists combine elements of genres or styles in brilliant ways? But I don't hear Prince as doing this either. What is he doing that the world wouldn't have been the same without? Okay, last section of this absolute crazy stuff. Jeez, honestly, I mean, I swear to God, they're going to have to start putting Valium or something in this tea. Or there's mastery of an art. Do not go there. Some artists just blow you the hell away, and with how good they are and what they do. Think of an instrument or a vocal style. Yeah, let's think of Prince's falsetto, his deep booming baritone. Let's think of his guitar playing, piano playing. Let's think of his keyboard playing. Let's think of his drum playing. Let's think of his drum programming, his producing. Oh, we could do that. And I bet you could think of artists who boggle your mind with how elegantly they've perfected it. But there's nothing I've heard on a Prince song that stands out more than if a programmed robot had been doing the same thing. What am I missing? Well, you are missing a substantial part of your musical brain. It may have fallen out of your ear. Sometimes it happens. You turn around quickly, your musical part of your brain just falls out of your ear, rolls down the street. It happens to everybody. It's no big thing. You just need to go and find it, pick it up, bring it back. It's not a problem. Not a problem. Don't worry. It can happen. You can do it. It happens to everybody. Finally, there's charisma. Oh God, I've got to brace myself for this. Prince was the most charismatic man on the planet. But okay, here we go. The great X factor that sometimes just lifts one specimen above the rest. It's hard to define, but you know it when you see it. Charisma is why Nirvana sounded fresh and original in the early 90s. Sonic Youth and the Swans and the Melvins might have been doing it earlier, but Kurt Cobain had charisma. Or take Billie Eilish. I'm not at all sure I believe she can actually sing. In fact, I'm pretty sure she can't. And I'm saying this as a fan. Okay? And maybe that's a great example because she seems like one of those artists you love or hate viscerally without ever being able to define quite why. In Prince's case, like I said, I hate him. Did Prince steal your girlfriend? This is a safe space. I promise you, this is a safe space. You can let us know. If you know, if he did, then you know, just let us know. I mean, you know, it's fun. Sincerely, I find his presence repulsive, sleazy, greasy, weaselly. I mean, I've heard some absolute insane nonsense over the 10 years I've been doing this, but weaselly. He's weaselly. For the love of all things Purple Rain. But I'm willing to acknowledge this might be one of those things I just don't get. Like Donald Trump. I've not heard Prince compared to Donald Trump before, but I guess that's the first time for everything. People tell me he's charismatic, and I have to believe them on the objective basis that he, like Prince, has millions of adoring fans. You've noticed, yeah? Well done. His charisma is objectively verified. Damn straight. But apparently I'm immune to it. And apparently you are. Because I find him repulsive. Repulsed by Prince. Repulsed. Doesn't just like, I don't... There are lots of people who say, I don't care for their music, I'm not interested. You're not repulsed by them. Is there something of that in it? And he concludes, please, Prince fans, as I've said, I come in peace. You do not come in peace. This isn't a come in peace. You could have phrased it a million ways differently. Anyway, I just want to know what it is you're hearing or perceiving that I don't, because never has a revered artist fallen flatter on me than this one. Now, I'm quite a nice guy. I'm usually quite relaxed. Please forgive these rants. But one, listen to an album. You have never listened to an album. Wow, listen to an album. You can't criticise an artist if you've heard a few hit songs and okay, maybe you didn't dig them, that's fine. And do you know what? You may listen to an album. You may not dig Prince, but for the love of God, fact, he was a multi-instrumentalist genius. Fact, he was one of the most charismatic people on the planet. Fact, he had the X Factor. He changed music, Minneapolis sound, the list is endless. I don't even need to defend Prince. And it's fine to say, oh, I don't get it. That's fine. That's not what you said. You didn't say, Prince, whatever, not really into him, but I'm happy for people are. He's repulsive, he's greasy, he's Weasley. I don't know what the hell that means. And Lordy. Now this is interesting because some people responded on Reddit. Some people have. I just wondered, what would you say? What would you say to somebody like this? Would you say, it doesn't matter, they're talking nonsense, absolute madness, but it just, the strength of feeling, man. Oh, I think they need to have some nice, relaxing British tea. They need to just relax, put on the headphones, put on a Prince album, maybe something chill like Mellow or something, the Rainbow Children. Might be a bit divisive, but just something, just take out an album, put it in the CD player or put it on Spotify, put it in your headphones and play it. Just because to judge somebody and feel this strongly about something that you don't even know anything about by saying you haven't even bothered to listen to an album is crazy. That's fine. Don't dig Prince, fine, but this is nonsense. And I'm sorry, it's going in the NightChild Hall of Prince nonsense. Sorry, those three things entered this week. Anyway, please forgive my rant. I feel so much better now. Nice walk in the park, touch some grass, just chill. Peace.